Hello, everyone. You're watching the semi-final women's game at Misfit Cup between Dusk from Victoria in the light on the right side and Dino from Vancouver on the left side in the dark. I'm Tuzan. I'm joined by Blake Marilees today, and we'll be providing you the plays, colors, and commentary for this semi-final matchup game. This is Misfit Cup, presented to you by the Vancouver Ultimate League, and we're acknowledging that we're playing at the beautiful Burnaby Lake Park on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples.
Welcome. This is going to be fun. This looks like a great game. I'm excited for this. We're in the top four. All the teams here are good. Dino is very good. I've seen great things from Dusk, and I think both teams are going to be fighting hard. You can hear the sideline getting energetic already as this first pull is about to come up.
Pulls up. Dusk is starting on offense. Center pass.
Nice slash cut. Looks it off. Shoots deep. Trailing left. Good effort to try for it, but that one was always fading out.
Just out of reach of number 23. Zoe S.
Dino shoots. Teams feeling each other out here. Dusk is in their default. I don't know what that is. Looks like a vertical stack. Cut to the open side, hit. Reset. Under front of the stack, hit on the open side. No flow, looking for another. Next, open side under. And another open side under, really flowing up that open side. And there's the shot.
And that
great catch
is not in yet.
A little bit of embellishment there, but that's okay. We've all been there. Dusk trying to punch it in. And Dusk gets the first score.
Number 16, Lizzie, with the assist. Good find.
You know, I think if I had glasses, I could see all the numbers too. It's a great hold for Dusk to start the game. And now we get to see Dino's O-line come out and show us what they've got.
Both teams are coming into this semifinal having to win all of their matches from yesterday. So I think I'm ready to see some really good energy between these two teams. They're hustlers, good energy, and they're just types of teams that don't give up.
Yeah, I mean, like, these two teams are used to winning. And they got winners on their sidelines, winners of the coaching staff, and so you know that this is just a pit stop for them. They've got bigger plans, so this is hopefully just an obstacle in each of their stories. Cloud's starting to break a little bit out here in Burnaby, which usually comes with a little bit more gusty wind. You can kind of feel it. They might pull out a zone, maybe. I guess we'll see. Pull coming from Dusk here. As the sideline wakes up. Dino to receive. Dino quick initiate play, hidden under. Another open side under here from 8. Up line from Bell. Still just hitting that open side.
Centers it to Emma Falk. Around to Bell again. Nice grab.
Classic end zone system here from Dino. Nice and stable. Throw open, go open. Get your best players invested and win. Great move from Dino to score, and we are back at 1-1. Well, MM, I'm wondering, which jerseys are your favorites out here? I'm seeing a little bit of a difference in style. And, some homemade or there's the refined. What are you feeling?
This is my first time seeing it, but across the field we've got a team in orange, and on the back they have like prisoners on them, which I think is a really cool theme. I've never seen that before in Misfit Cup. Yesterday Dino's kits were green. I think they were aliens, so that was also really fun. I just think Misfit Cup is a tournament where the teams don't have their jerseys yet, so they kind of just have fun with what they have to put together. Both Vortex teams have basketball jerseys on, which I think is really fun. But my bet's on the orange prisoner set across the field.
That is Canyon. I'm happy to support Canyon at all times. But yeah, Misfit Cup is a great place for that spirit of the game to be expressed a little bit more. Have some more fun out here. Yes, we are in the part of the tournament where we're getting competitive, and that's why you're watching at home, because you want to watch a good game. But we are still here to have fun, and seen lots of smiles from the kids today, which is exactly what we want. Dino to serve, looking for their first break of the game. Got Mara Vines doing the pull for us here. And that one tucks itself out of bounds. That'll be centered. Dusk in their vertical set. Looking like a buzz. Looking for the break side. And a shot to the end zone. Dusk comes down with it, looking to settle in, score. Nothing. Over the top. And unlucky miss from Dusk. Dino to break.
Looking for a shot deep here. Not there. Centers it to Paley, number 4. Paley's also looking for help. Upline. And a shot deep to number 5.
And she was alone, but the wind caught a hold of that one and had other plans.
Mm-hmm.
You can see both teams kind of just feeling each other out, especially when those turns come. The wind is a little bit of a factor here. Be interested to see if we see any unders get hit or if we just look back for the end zone. Open side under, centering the disc here. Reset cut from the break side. Still looking for that stack here. Around break. Oh, good D from Dino as Justine Chang knocks it out. She goes for the double happiness. Looks her off. Nice up line from Mara Vines. Hitting that open side again. Just out of reach. Great flow from Dino. Dust's got some work to do to come out of their end zone. Quick turnover from Dust. Dino's got another chance here on the goal line. Quick slash, tough throw. Great catch from number 5 on Dino for the first break of the game as Dino goes up 2-1. You know, when all this talk about breaks, for some reason gets me thinking about Kit Kats.
Like take a break?
Yeah, that's the guerrilla marketing, isn't it? They got me. Their slogan
so.
got me.
Is that your tourney snack? What's your go-to tourney snack?
No, I am unable to eat gluten, as the kids would say. So I'm eating a protein bar right now that I won't sponsor. So now, coming out on offense here for Dusk. What do we think needs to change for them to be able to get a little more comfortable and get a score?
I think Dusk has a lot of open unders that I feel like they need to utilize a little more, but I kind of feel the wind coming up on my front, and I think that's kind of like makes them a bit hesitant, which, you know, I totally understand, but Dino in the black takes advantage of their turns and just goes for that really quick offensive point, like that one here in that recent point where she D'd it, went for a quick break. I want to see more of that.
Well, maybe we will as Dino comes out to serve again. Dusk to receive, looking to get a hold here. Pulls up. The catch of the pull, we are centered in our vertical stack. Cut from the back, nothing. Split and send, looking long. Unlucky read and Dusk capitalizes. Looking to settle here. What can they push up? And a foul call in the end zone from a little bit of chaos. Looks like a contested foul call. I saw some hand signals out there. We love, as the commentators, being able to see hand signals.
Yep.
That one's going to come back. Dusk's chance to score here. This is what they need. Quick reset. Shot to the back of the end zone. Up and a hand to it, but no luck for Dusk there. Dino's got another break. Break chance, I mean. Dino in isolation, looking long. It's up. And a great run, but again, that wind is pushing those discs. They come down on that sideline.
Yeah. Saw the wind. It was a little too low, and it just took it all the way down. But it was a great effort from number 5, Isabella Chen.
Dusk to pick up again in their default, as they say. Open side from the back of the stack. Cuts under. Catch. Looking still open side. Lots of cutters into a reset break. Looking for a swing and another open side under from front of the stack. Another open side under. Really running this open side here for Dusk. Nothing available. Reset. Big under again. Dusk looking a little stagnant. Great catch off of a tough reset shot. Dusk needs to attack here. Good around. Back to the center of the field. Dusk in their end zone here. Nice over the top around. They're whittling him down. Nice around break. Good catch up near the line by number 12. Dusk staying patient, running their end zone. Shot to the back.
Cash.
Well run, well executed by Dusk. Very patient to secure that hold.
I think what they did well.
I'm seeing something. Maybe there was a call on the field. I take that back. Not a hold yet. Looks like someone might be making an out call. Well, they're talking about it. This is spirit of the game. When there's a call, players that are on the field are self-officiating. And so they have to speak for themselves, speak for their perspectives in an honest and respectful way, hopefully. And I just saw a player put two fists together. That means contest. That means they did not agree the play call, and that sends it back to where it was before. We were back with Dusk with the disc on the goal line with probably an abbreviated stall count here. Open side. Dusk, stay patient here. Another open side up line. Shoots it up. And Dusk with the box out. Great positioning to secure that hold. We are now at 2-2.
Yeah, what I was going to mention earlier is what Dusk did really well in that end zone for me is they're not afraid to throw those really risky high passes despite the wind. So even though that was unconventional, I mean, it did them the job.
It is an interesting combination of what the heck kind of throws and really patient decisions. So I think that it's a good recipe for them right now when it's coming their way, and let's see if it changes. Dusk still down one break here. They started on offense. If you're just joining us into this early semifinal at Misfit Cup, Clash of the Titans here. This is the biggest game we've seen so far. We've got Canyon and Vortex on the far field that we can also see. Honestly, this is just a very colorful day out in Burnaby. Lots of green, lots of blue, lots of pink.
Yes, if you tuned in earlier to the Open semifinal, that was an electric game between Canyon Open and Dusk, I believe.
Yes, that was a quarterfinal.
Yes.
And Canyon Open, the greatest team in existence, won a really tight battle.
Yes.
7-6. So that was a great watch. And we're hoping for something just as tight here. As a neutral, I'm sure there's some supporters here who'd like it a little bit easier, but Dusk to serve. Dino collects.
Reset to MFI.
Dusk marking up on the underside of their marks, confusing Dino a little bit, but it's giving up those deep shots. We'll see if they extend their game.
Good swing. Finds Bell. She's looking up. Not there. Finds the other Bell. Comes up. This is number 97. Reset. And a swing.
To this point, clinical offense from Dino. Just patient, hitting what they can. It is windy out here. You can see, if you can notice in their hair, the wind is starting to gust a little bit, and it makes things tougher to catch.
Unfortunate fumble there as Dusk sets up the revert stack. Come under.
Dusk with a chance to get back on serve. Looking to get their break back here. Shot off the open side, and I see a pick call from the stack. That one's going to be coming back. Off a pick call, for those of you who don't know, players will be going back to where they were, except for the defense on the player the pick was called on should be getting a catch up to where they were. Dusk to go again. Look into that vertical stack. Open side under. Little spinorama with a disc. Oh. And disc secured. Break side under this time. Hits up the line. Still looking at our end zone set. Great following D from Bell. Dino gets their disc back. Let's see what they can create. Looking long, doesn't want it. Big fake, comes under. Another open shot, doesn't want it. Pump fake, come under. Break side swing, catches some wind. And that's what we're dealing with out today. Dusk looking to settle down.
Fine 67.
This line from Dino applying the pressure as they can. Not a lot of options being generated for Dusk right now. It's up. Gonna be fading right. And all Dino.
I'm not sure who the intended target was, but I think she took that opportunity.
Dino's flowing unders. They look long,
She took
and
this opportunity too.
at least the disc is in a different end zone, I guess you would say. This is a big point for both teams. You can feel that energy for both of them. And
Ooh.
disc catches some wind. Dino's got a great chance to hold here. Reset. Shoots it up into the end zone. Great shot. Open side, up the line. Dino holds 3-2.
That was bell to number 98, Abigail Hui.
There's a lot of action in this game. People like throwing it far.
Yeah, for sure. And if you feel the wind, or at least you can see it in their hair and in their jerseys, it's kind of a crosswind situation happening right now. So there are moments where they feel comfortable throwing that deep throw when it's available, but then obviously when you're against wind, it's a little bit more intimidating to throw that.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's the most pressure these kids have probably felt all season, at least in a game scenario. And so combine that X factor of the wind with that, you just get a few more as we're sort of dialing it in as teams that are going to be a little bit off. You'll notice a lot of them are fading towards our sideline where all the teams are right now, and we'll see how the throwers adjust to the wind out here today. Now, Dino Women's, I would say, in the last 3 years, they've been a pretty big contender in junior nationals. I think it's fair to say.
For sure.
I mean, they won twice in a row. Sounds like a contender to me, right?
And would you happen to know the allocated bids this year for CUC juniors?
I believe there are 8, and I imagine Dino's expectation is to get the first one. That is going to be their game plan. Last year, they had a little bit of a disappointing CUCs for them. Came up against a really great team in the quarterfinals. This year, I think they're looking to clean things up and win everything again. But the difference is we got teams like Dusk that are going to be challenging. Like these aren't easy teams at all. And Dusk is about to receive here, looking to get another hold, put us back at even.
Yeah, for sure. Dusk is definitely giving. Oh.
And that's incredibly unlucky as the disc comes down and hits a Dusk player. If it hits a player before it touches the ground, it is a turnover without a catch. And Dino gets a chance for a break here.
That was really unlucky. I think she didn't expect that to come down on her like that.
Nice around shot. Dino is fresh here. Open side reset. Looks up line. Hits Monique Petrachuk and just out of her hands. Dusk gets another chance here.
See,
running long. Shoots long. Collected by Dusk.
Number 5 to 16. She finds an open Dusk player in the end zone.
Great save for Dusk there. What could have been potentially a back-breaking break. And we're back at even.
Yeah, so if...
There's that shot again. Great catch. Great read. And a nice, simple reset to an open side shot. Good flow from Dusk. Now, Dusk here. Dusk is a team from Victoria, for those who don't know. They are a program that's come up in just the last few years, as they've got a growing player base out there. They've got some great coaches. They've got lots of people invested. and they've only gotten better. They contend as best they can, and every single year I'm seeing them becoming more and more of a competitive program. And I mean, I think this is exactly where they would see themselves being.
For sure. And their brother team, Dusk Open, I believe has like 1 or 2 Team Canada players on them. So the competition is getting higher as the winds are getting stronger. You can hear the tent rocking back and forth.
We might lose our sun cover here in a second. I got my manager over here. He's losing his mind. But yes, it is quite windy here. The tops of the trees are swaying, and it's heavy gusts. Like, these are strong gusts. Don't be surprised if you see it on the field with this disc getting a little bit less coordinated.
To add on that, Dusk and teams from just outside of Vancouver, Talent of Ultimate is growing just way stronger in BC in general. They're giving Dino a fight and a reason to, just keep pushing and working harder to get that #1 spot that they really want.
Absolutely. Pull one out of bounds. Dino to center here. Looking like a slightly different look from what they were in. Let's see this pull play. Slash cross and an open under. Looking long. Nope. Wants an under. Back for the reset. Not liking her options. Open side under. Good patience. Open side up line. Bell to bell. And a shot.
Deep to number 98, Abby
Oh,
Hui.
and she was under it. She had it. That was great work by Dino. And Dusk gets their chance. Dusk back in their vertical. Going up that crosswind. Big cut from deep. Tess looking for those big unders. Nice up line. Floaty reset. Athletic catch. Travel called. Just sending her back. Play will stay live. Looking for an open side under. Nothing. Floaty shot. Decent read. Tough catch.
Number 13, Nora.
Dino to go again. Looking for an around to her sister. Unlucky. That's what the wind's doing for us here. It's popping those small ones up. Dusk again. Looking for a reset. Inside shot. Not liking her options. Looking for a reset. Now, and a fill. Great around shot. Oh, unlucky.
Very unfortunate.
Good pressure from the defense there. Tough drop. You can see that wind's really coming to effect here.
87, nice up line, just out of her hands. Number 8, Kira Lee.
Both teams feeling that pace of the game right now. Shoots again. All Dino.
Block. Oh, and we have a player down.
That looked like she went up, got it, and landed a little bit awkwardly. Hope she's okay. A great defensive play. And just as the coaches check on the player, teams are both going to catch their breath here. Looks like we're going to have Dino back on offense, What do you think we need to see from Dino to see them really complete this hold they've been looking for here?
I think Dino seems quite... What's the word? They seem a little frazzled. They're really... They love their quick give and goes and fast plays, but I think the moment they kind of take a second to look around, I think that's kind of where they'll find like good opportunities to strike. Oh, and she's being carried off. Oh no. So maybe a little bit of a slower game from Dino might be able to secure this point for them.
Yeah, I think Dino is going to try and probably collect themselves. Hopefully this stoppage helps them a little bit. Just be able to settle. Yes, that player did come off. She is being tended to on the sidelines. We've got subs in. Play is about to be restarted.
Yes, Natalie Leung to fill in.
We've got Bell jogging back to pick it up. Looking like we'll probably try and see some big open side unders from Dino here as they flow it up and execute. Deep strike.
Not there.
Another deep strike shot by Bell. Great put. Natalie Hoy with the collect. Reset. Dino in great position here. Tight up line. Great toe. Called in by the defense. Under. Looking open side again. And unlucky. Dino's offense looking great, but just can't capitalize.
Oh, that was
Tough turnover for Dusk.
Quick pickup by number 28, Bell. Resets to her sister. And it's cashed in by 97.
Just as we're hit with a big gust of wind, Dino's happy for that point to be done to get that hold in. A hard-fought point by both teams. Nice, simple execute by Dino in the end. We are at 4-3.
So this is looking like a pretty good fight between the two. Blake, I would like to know, what do you think has been working for both teams to get them switching points like this?
I mean, at this point, Dino's offense looks very comfortable, and they're just not catching discs that maybe they'd hoped they'd be catching. And I think as soon as they clean that up, they will look a little bit more clinical. For Dusk, they're not getting a ton of under opportunities. You know, they look a little bit cluttered because of that wind. I think they look like a team that likes their deep shots, and they're holstering them a little bit. And then when they have been shooting it, hasn't been working. So both teams have been getting the worst end of their 50-50s they're trying to generate. I think whichever team starts getting the better end of that is going to be in the better place come halftime.
For sure.
You know, with some of the drops we've had, some of these kids could use friction gloves. You know, friction gloves are designed to improve your throws and catches no matter the weather conditions, even if it's windy. Vancouver Ultimate members save 15% at frictiongloves.com. Have you ever heard of friction gloves?
Oh, 100%, yes. I've had kids who have showed up to practice after one practice of dropping a bunch of discs with friction gloves, so it's a good endorsement.
Fair enough. Anything you can do as Dino serves yet again.
This pulls inbounds, picking up from the sideline.
Bit of miscommunication by Dusk here. And a shot.
Oh.
Great read and just a little unlucky. Oh, I'm hearing talks of never in. Unlucky for Dusk as the wind kept that one out of bounds. We're going to come all the way back up to where it was thrown.
This is 95 Sophie Kin with the disc. Oh, she looks
Shot
up.
up the line. Dino trying to jam it through. Nice inside. And Dino gets the break.
That's number 3, Hayden Cock with the disc.
And you know, I'm tough for Dusk. No.
I think not only is the wind a factor, but I feel Dino's driven by just wanting to get better. So they're a little bit more kind of locked in right now.
Yeah, and I mean, the game is so far from over. 5-3, it feels like a lot right now because the points have been long and everything's worked hard for it. But 5-3 can turn into 6-5 really fast.
For sure.
These kids got to keep their heads up, keep going.
We've got Dusk. They're putting on quite a bit of their anchor players. Number 16 has been a pretty solid main handler for this line. And number 3, who is number 5 currently on the field. Or no, she's the number 2 on the field. Pretty zippy cutter. She finds herself open a lot, and they got their first 2 points with those 2 players. So key players for this Dusk line.
Zippy, huh?
Just like this wind.
That's a good way to describe it. Still have a coach on the field for Dino, just making sure their defense is ready. And Dusk to receive. 5-3 Dino. And out of bounds. That one will be centered. Let's see if this vertical can do something for Dusk here. Big poach by Dino. She's looking long again. It's up. And a little game of tips as Dusk pulls it down. Quick up line reset. Looking to punch it in here. She's looking. She wants the assist. Reset. Open side. Good try on the break around, but you could tell she just wasn't really prepared for that wind.
It's a nice hand block by number 21, Justine Chang. Oh.
And unlucky by Dino. Dusk with life here. Big shot and another tip to a Dusk player. What did I say about 50-50s? They got to go your way to win. Good teams are lucky teams. You know what I mean?
That was incredibly athletic. You saw that tip from the block that popped it up, and the player quickly reacted as she grabbed it on its way down.
Now, those are one of those points that I think Dino's going to be coming off saying, you know, what can you do on defense?
For sure.
And Dusk is going to be coming off saying, let's not do that again on offense.
Blake, as a coach, we see Dusk kind of setting up in their vert stack, and it looks like that's kind of the only play that they're going with right now. It's something that they're really comfortable with, and obviously it's been working for them. As a coach, do you have a specific play that you really like? There's horizontal, maybe hex.
I mean, most teams go towards a horizontal. I mean, there is a good amount of vertical played with some teams as well, but usually teams have like an identity, right, where they'll pick one and go with it. Seems like Dusk is playing vertical because they love scoring in 2 or 3 passes. And fair enough. If they can score in 3 passes, do it. But you can see that Dino's coming out in more of a abbreviated horizontal with some players in isolation on the open side, running in motion, and then getting some flow going. Personally, I love anything that makes the players shine. So you try and play it based on the personnel that you have. I'm a big advocate for Hex, especially at the junior level. It pushes the players, it pushes their limitations consistently because it's positionless ultimate. I think you'll see Dino do a lot of similar style flow in using players in every single position as they can. But you can see Dusk definitely more has a handler-cutter split, which, you know, power to him. Hopefully they score some more goals. Still a bit of an uphill battle here as Dusk is down 1 break. Scores 5-4 Dino. Dino to receive. And if you can't hear, Liv is pulling.
the big pull, that will be inbounds. Right on the sideline. Bell centers it to 86.
Big under, center to the disc. Got another bell with it.
Finds number 87. Swings it to 55.
Bell's shooting. That one's tucking right.
Finds her sister, number 28. And cashes it in with number 8. Point for Dino.
And you take those. I think both teams take those. I think Dusk would be happy to see that one forced up and just hope they get the D next time. Dino's happy to see it forced up and catch it. If you don't know, we will be at halftime soon. Right now we are at 6-4 for Dino. Halftime is usually at half the field or half the game time cap or at 7 as we are playing a game to 13. It seems that we've passed our half time cap, so we'll probably just go by score here based on what the teams are doing.
Sun's starting to come out, which is nice. After this first half of the week was scorching hot, followed by a Friday of rain. So,
Do you have your sunscreen on, MM?
yes, sir. I tan quite easily. Do you?
I burn quite easily. So, I don't know if I have any sunscreens that I'd recommend, but I usually wear like baby stuff. Because I have very sensitive skin.
Fair enough.
Shout out to all my sensitive skin people there. And shout out to my fiance for getting me all the best sunscreen.
Anniversary gift.
You know what? I'd be happy if it was.
It's exciting. When's the wedding coming up?
Next year.
Fair enough.
Next summer. So I probably won't be here, unfortunately.
Wow.
But, you know.
Nice weather to do it, though, in the summertime, I think.
Hope so. As Dusk is receiving again. Trying to avoid halftime here.
That's centered.
Looks like a split in sand. She wanted to shoot that and did not. Decent holster, and she shoots it again. It's hanging. And a great read. Dusk collects. And a tough reset as Dino gets it back. Good find. Justine Chang looking for a shot. Holster. Calms her team down. Nice cut from Mara Vines.
It's a swing to number 22. She looks up line, not there. Swings it back.
Back around.
Finds 4 Grace Paley. Moves it up. Finds 22. And that cashes in 7-4 for Dino.
And that is halftime. (7-4) Dino over Dusk. We are at Misfit Cup, presented by the Vancouver Ultimate League on the beautiful, or at the beautiful Burnaby Lake Sports Complex. We'll be back with some second half action after these two teams collect themselves and get ready to compete again.
And we're back with this semifinal women's game between Dino in the dark on the right side and Dusk in the light from Victoria on the left. If you are tuning in, this is Misfit Cup hosted to you by the Vancouver Ultimate League.
I'm ready for a strong competitive second half here. We got Dino, looks to be receiving, question mark. I can't see either team with a disc. I think each team looks like they're about to receive, so we'll figure out how that ends up working out.
Dusk with all their hands up, signaling that they're ready.
Oh, and Dusk has just noticed where the game disc is behind them. It's okay, we're working this out. And a pull from Dusk. Okay, we got Dino starting with the disc here. Collect from Bell.
Bell centers it. 2:55.
Hits an open side under. Looking long. Shoots open side. Catch right in front of the end zone. Looking for a quick one. A little quick 1-2. Work over the break side. And we got Dino. 8-4 to start the second half. Well, great start to the half for Dino. Obviously, Dusk looking for something more, but they just need to get a hold here. Again, MMF, if you're in this position for Dusk, how are you feeling? What do you think their coaches are trying to say to them on the line right now?
I think the coaches are really trying to push these girls to kind of, I don't know what to say, just to hustle a little bit more. I mean, they've kind of just been playing the same kind of defense. It's working for them really tight, but I kind of like to do the whole swivel your head around, look at the disc, look at the person, and Dino's been kind of shooting over everyone's head right now, so just to be a little bit more disc aware.
Yeah, I think you're really seeing Dino become more confident in their own skill level. You know, I think all teams are in a position where they are competing like this for the first time together, and I'm seeing Dino really tighten up on offense, getting more comfortable with those small shots, knowing how the wind's reacting. I'd like to see Dusk offer some more opportunities for themselves. They're shooting a lot long, and you catch 50% of them, awesome. But if you're catching 25%, it's a tough spot. And that's why they find themselves here at 8-4. So let's see if they can get them to fall for it and get themselves back in this game.
Dino sideline super hyped up as they're getting ready to pull and play defense.
That pull sails out of bounds. They will take it at the brick. Expecting another huck play here from Dusk. I don't know about you.
There's a huge gust of wind kind of coming from their end zone, so they've got the opportunity here.
Creates a few under opportunities. And off the reset, Monique Trickshot gets the D. Dino gets another shot for a break here. And really hold that pressure to Dusk. Looking open side. Fakes the under. Big around. And a huge catch in the end zone as Dino gets the break. 9-4.
Dino's really built up a momentum here since just before half, actually. I see their players really getting hyped up that they're kind of scoring these goals right now, and you could see in that shot, that assist to the player receiving, she was really hustling for that disc.
And as a coach, I started thinking, when are we going to dig into our timeouts? At this point, we were at 5-4, I think, maybe 6-4. It was a tighter game, sort of slipping out of our reach right now. And so as Dusk, I'm thinking, how do we collect ourselves? How do we create more opportunities for ourselves? For Dino, I think they just keep their pressure. I don't know if they're going to change much. They might come out in a different defensive look to really put the brakes on them. But I think at this point, what they're doing is working. They're getting better. And we need Dusk to get better, too, to make this game a little more competitive as we get to the final few points. Reminder, this is a game 2-13, but if we do reach 70 minutes, it'll be a time cap. and that is something called a hard cap, which means you'll hear a horn go off, and whatever point is being played is the last point, unless it finishes in a tie. And then you have to go to universe point overtime, which our last stream game ended in, believe it or not. If you haven't watched that, it's a cool ending.
Dino's looking for a big pull right now. Ready to play some hustle defense, and this wind's kind of died down, but she's given herself a lot of space, so.
Mara Vines with a disc.
Go.
Nice floaty pull, coming back towards our sideline here, and just lands out. Going to be centered again. Dusk with their set offense. And a split and send. No shot, hits a reset to the break side. Looking for someone to open under here. Not much being created for Dusk. Fake fakes, looking for a reset handler. And a shot. Looks like a stall 9 bailout. Puts him in a decent position to try and force something from Dino here. Not a lot generated from Dusk there. You can see that the pressure from Dino is really starting to tick up on him.
For sure. I think after they set up in their vert stack, they get a little lost.
Nice shot to the open side. Reset back through some traffic. Looking open side under, hits open side under. Looking for another open side drive from that secondary position. And a catch. Looking open side under again. Open side. Open side under to number 18. Just flowing up that lane, getting everything they want. Break side shot. Full swing to Mara Vines. Justine cuts down, doesn't get it. Open side under. Mara Vines trying to drive up this offense to the end zone. Lots of options being created, maybe too many. Swing to Justine Chang. Swing, break side, just out of the reach of the receiver. Dusk gets another chance.
That's 88, Angelica Hui.
Big open side under. Looking long, it's up. Tailing back towards the middle of the field. You got 2 players under it. Great catch by Dusk.
Reeled in by Ava on Dusk.
And that's a hold. I feel like you can feel the tension release for Dusk a little bit there. Like they really need that one.
For sure. As we reach the 15-minute mark on this game, it's kind of getting up close to that hard cap limit that you were talking about. So I feel they're I feel the adrenaline rushing right now.
Yeah, I mean that's Dusk's game. Dusk probably wants to put them in pressure situations. They probably hoped it would be a little bit closer than this, but they keep shooting, they keep catching. They might come back into this game. We have time. Now, obviously, Dino's probably not looking to change much about their offense. They're just hoping to execute and connect. They're getting a lot of what they want on the open side. Maybe Dusk can shut it down a little bit. As soon as they've had to go to the break side, that wind is making it difficult for those swings, as seen there. If they can keep forcing that, they might have a chance to get another on the board here.
Agreed, and I think something else that could probably work for Dusk is once you see cut number 1, cut number 2 happen, and then that third cut deep that they look at if those first 2 cuts that happen. If all 3 cuts don't really work out, you kind of want to reset back in that vert stack position. And it fell apart a little bit earlier in the first point, but it worked for them earlier in the game. So we hope to see that again and get this game a little bit closer than it is.
Absolutely. And I mean, like this game is also won from the sideline. I mean, I'll point out one thing I see. Dusk does not have a tent. Meanwhile, everyone on Dino is in the shade, getting out of the sun. At this point, sun protection is really important. You get a little bit of a sunburn, all of a sudden you can't run as fast. I know from experience. We'll see how it affects each team as Dusk pulls to Dino. Score is 9-5. Dusk desperate for a break. Dino looking to hold and be businesslike here. Bell to collect. Bell to bell. Upline by Bell. And a huge D by Dusk.
That is number 8.
Dusk gets their
Melissa.
chance here. Open side shot. Open side from the back of the stack. Big under. Lots of options being generated. Might need a reset here. It's tough in the wind. Reset, break set, and there's a down call. There's a stall down call, so that disc is going to come back. You see that hand signal? A player taps the top of their head to let them know, hey, I reached stall 10. You should have thrown it before that. At this point now, the thrower and that mark will talk and say, hey, I think you were right, or hey, I don't think you were right. If that's uncontested, it'll be Dino disc. If that is contested, it's going to go back to stall 8 in the hands of Dusk.
And this is a really high pressure situation here because you see only one handler available while the everyone's getting set up into the stack. So,
I mean, in a tight game like this, I think we could imagine a contest.
the one with the disc actually is the one who got that block. So I'm sure she was just feeling a lot of pressure of kind of
Looks like it's coming back in. Sorry, MM. Looking like we're probably going to be at stall 8 here, coming in. Looking for a quick pass from Dusk to get the disc out of their hands. On the tap in. Saying quick shot. Over the top. Athletic bid, but just out of the reach of the handler. Looking long. Bell to bell. Floating. Going back towards the middle of the field. Great defense to get it back. Dusk looking to create again. Keeping themselves alive here. Shot, open side, to the middle of the field. To an open side reset that catches wind and goes in the Dino's hands. Calls some chill from the sideline as Dino tries to collect. Do their business. Bell to bell. Open side drive. Open side hit. Another open side up line. Dino connects. And we are at 10-5. Wind really playing a big factor here.
For sure. They're really struggling to get those resets in because it's just popping isn't working right now.
Absolutely. Here's that point again from Dino. You got bell to bell to bell to a nice open side shot into the end zone. Great flow. You know, I think those bells have been playing together for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really unfamiliar. They're twins, right?
They are twins.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I coached twins last year. And there's something special when you got twins on the same team. They don't have to communicate to communicate. I'm sure I'm seeing a little bit of that out on the field today. We're at 10-5. Not out of reach for Dusk yet, but time is ticking. I think, what do we think? Think they're happy with their effort today? Or think they're looking to push a little harder in this last 13 minutes?
I definitely think they're not about to give up yet. It's a big gap in between the scores right now, but I think if they want to close this game in, they want the gap to be a little bit smaller. So I really hope at least with this point and the coming points, they clean up their offense a little bit. And if they reset, you got to look at that a little bit quicker, and you got to avoid those pops.
Fair enough. We got Dino here serving again. Dusk to receive. Desperate for a hold. Needing to stay alive in this game. Dino looking to put it to bed. This semifinal has been electric. Dino has been pulling away for the last little bit, but both teams have been fighting hard. We've seen lots of great plays. Let's hope we see some more in this final 15 minutes. Centers the disc. Handlers work together. Get that vertical stack running. 2 running deep. Nothing created yet for Dusk. And it's shot again. To a receiver that maybe wasn't ready for that, but Dusk gets to play defense here in that tough win. Let's see if Dino can capitalize. Number 4 picking up. Doesn't want the first option. Doesn't want to reset. Tough. Nothing was offered for that handler, and she just couldn't find an option. And Dusk is in end zone. Open side drive. And with the break. Going break side again. Into the end zone. Athletic catch. And there's that hold for Dusk. That's what they needed. Quick hold. Dino had a chance. Couldn't capitalize. And here we are at 10-6.
For sure. Starting at the break mark into their end zone, their vert stack is a really clean setup just to play some boring but efficient ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, Dusk is willing to take their shots. Like you can see off that front of the stack there, that's a great break side cut to a break side strike with no, or break side shot with no hesitation. As a coach, you watch that and you say, do that every time. And so 10-6, they're looking for a break here. They're fighting. Dino doesn't feel like they're totally out of the woods yet, and let's see what we got in those last 10 minutes.
Okay, sounds good. I'd rather it be a bit darker than brighter. Yeah. Thank you.
Wind's a little bit more consistent right now. We had it to be a little bit gusty before, and those gusts are the tough ones. When we have a swing across the field, it'll catch the disc, put it up, put it down.
Yeah.
Right now, we get consistent. At least you know. When you're throwing, you know what you're throwing into. And so I'm wondering how that will affect Dino here and having a clean hold, trying to finish out this game.
I think as we're kind of coming up to this end, some updates, hopefully from our other games. Canyon and Vortex are still kind of toughing it out right now. We don't have a score on them just yet, but I'm expecting that game to also be close. All these women's teams are really, really tough players.
There's a lot of hard competition out there today. Dusk is ready to go, and Dino's got a hand up. Big pull by Dusk as they come down looking for that much-needed break. Bell collects to Bell. Bell in the backfield. Open side under. Looking open side under again. Little floaty open side under caught. Upline by Bell. Another open side slash. Dino just punching it in up that open side, getting what they want. Looking for a break, nothing. Open side again. And a break around for Bell. Another around. Looking around again. All to the break side. Clean by Dino. 3 straight break throws and a score.
Dino plays the boring, efficient ultimate game just as well.
As you can see, just easy up the line when it's there, and then as soon as it's not there, let's go the other way. Would you believe everything's open? And that's well run, well executed end zone. Given the amount of time we have, might be a little bit out of reach here now. Dusk still looking to fight, though. Let's keep the scoreline close. You know, get your scores in. 11-6 for Dino in this semifinal.
Dusk is kind of not recent, but after the pandemic, I think they kind of just emerged pretty new as a new team, as an open team in 2023, and then they came out with a women's team in 2024. So as a fairly new establishment, I think they've picked themselves up really well. So even though the gap in this game is a little bit big, it's a pretty good accomplishment that this fairly new established team has gotten this far.
Absolutely. I mean, at Nationals, this game is to 15.
True.
And they've got an extra 40 minutes. So that's a big thing their team should be working on. And they have good adults in their program. And that makes a big difference in the structure, how they're working. You know, in this game right now, it's 11-6, a few minutes left. We do have the final coming up right after this, the women's final. Looking like Dino is going to play the winner of Vortex and Canyon, which is going to be an amazing final. All these teams are so competitive, and after this competitive stance right now, we're only going to get better. As Dino's here to pull. Dusk to receive, back in their vertical. Doesn't like the reset. Looking long again. Nothing generated. And a reset open side. Tune-up line. Can't come down with it. Feeling the pressure on that. Dino to pick up. Looking open side still. Still looking open side. Looking desperately for a reset. Gets Maravines up the line. And a score for Dino. 12-6. 6 minutes left.
This might be match point.
I think it would be fair to say that Dino has played well this game. You know, if I'm Dusk right now, I'm not walking away with my head down. You know, you're playing against a team that has championship qualities and desires, and you push them. You know, we were at a tighter game at the start, and obviously these games can get long. Sun's out now, pressure mounts, and all it takes is just how long can you stay in it. And this first half, they were with us. And so we're hoping what they can build on coming out of this is that let's do that for 2 halves next time. Let's put ourselves in the game come the last point. You know, Dusk does play what I'll call some old school style ultimate. I'm liking the split and send. I'm liking the buzz. Those vertical plays are doing something. As Dino is all smiles. You know, MM, at 12-6, what do you think the coaches are saying to the Dinos D-line right now?
Get it together. No, I'm kidding. To Dino's D-line, I think I would like to say that they're not going to get too comfortable, obviously, because despite having 6 minutes left, Desk could maybe score 1 or 2 more points, but I think they want to focus a lot on, if they get that turn, work on their offense and have it at just as clean of a hold as they did the last point. So
I was thinking they just say, I want to win 13-6. Don't let them score. As Dusk intends to put a 7th on the board here. Just with our handlers. Looking for something. Looking for a reset. And it's shot deep. And again, another one not coming down for Dusk. Dino looking to finish out this game and look on to the final. Up. And a deep side shot coming out of a break mark around throw. Incomplete. And we're back to where we started. Dusk with the disc in their half. See what they can generate here. Drive from the secondary handler. Hitting up line. In power position. Looking for it. Nothing. Open side under. Looked off. To a reset. Clear out from that secondary handler. And a hard cut under. Nothing from the stack yet. Getting desperate here. And there's a shot. Late in the stall count. Disc still flying. Staying windy here. Dusk has to play hard D. Great inside shot up the field. This is the handler, and I see a runner for Dino. Looked off. To Maravines. Great undercut, open side. Another underside slush. Open side. Dusk gets the D again. Someone's running. And the shot. Tailing back to the left. Tough read, tough win. Dusk can't come down with it. Even as we near the end of the game, this game has tons of energy. These players are not giving up on anything. Strike from Dino. Don't want it. Looking for a reset. Great upline cut. And a shot. All alone. Comes down with it. Shot up the line again. Great bid. And that is game. Dino wins 13-6 as they head on to the finals. And Dusk will go to the third place game. Here's that play again. Great shot. No one in space. To another lofty open side. And the bid. Great way to finish the game for Dino. This semi-final has been the Misfit Cup, presented by Vancouver Ultimate. Find ultimate programs for all ages and skill levels across Vancouver at vul.ca. And thank you to our sponsor, JointWorks, for sponsoring this event. They're the preferred athlete health provider of Vancouver Ultimate. Again, we had Dino take this one 13-6. Got the women's final coming up with Dino playing the winner of Vortex and Canyon. We'll be there with you soon. Thanks for tuning in.